game you would give the woman, and what's the piece of game you give the
The
man?
piece of game I would tell men is don't have no babies young. Stack your money, travel the world, and date different women in different places, not just in your area or what you live, because there are so many variations of the woman that it will really change the way you think about a person that's local. The females, I would tell them as well, don't have babies, because once you have a man's child at a young age, you put yourself behind the eight ball of life. You have two babies, three, those are all eight balls. So now you meet a gentleman who got his life together, and it's unfair that this guy likes you, but when you was in the Hampton Inn, having a good time, eating strawberries and grapes, having babies and shit, he wasn't thinking about your future. So now you meet this guy, he done bust his ass, got shit together, but he like you. He like you. But he got to carry all that weight with him. And I say this in my stand-up. There's a group of college graduating in June. It's a whole new team coming out here. A nigga could just go, if he was confident, go get you your own woman that can have your own kids, and you can live happy, because it's a psychological torture to raise another man's kid.
Torture.
It's torture too,
Why?
because you're pretending to be something that you're not. You're raising a child that doesn't belong to you. That's rough. I don't care what nobody say. Now it gets done, and thank God we do have men who will do that, but psychologically is detrimental to your health.
What about when you have, you know, if you're with a woman and she does have a child, but the father is active and is
I'm sure
there?
you can handle it. It's still uncomfortable.
Okay.
You pulling up in the car, they come to the door. She's really nice to him. No, he don't pay child support. He don't do nothing.
No, he
But
pay child
no,
support.
I'm just saying, if he does, I'm creating my scenario.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
he's in the living room watching TV. And she hear, okay, bye. Return the kids. Coming back. Okay, bye. It's
So I'm back. So we had got to talk about the video you just saw from TK Kirkland. If you don't know, he a famous comedian. He been out forever. Think he said he like 60 something years old. He still, you got to give it to him. He's still in shape. He's still good to look, to be in his 60s, pause. But yeah, so if you don't know who TK Kirkland is, he a famous comedian. He been doing interviews. He get associated with, because he always say he was at every event. Like he always say, I was with the Hot Boys when they went on tour, and I was with NWA when they first came out, and I was there when Eddie Murphy made his first movie, and I was there when Will Smith was first signed the contract to be in Bad Boys. Like TK Kirkland has been known for that, for people saying that he's been everywhere, he done seen everything. Because he says that he has been involved in a lot of stuff, and some of it is true, but we don't know if all of it's true. But anyway, I just want to touch on what he said. So he basically just said it's torture being a stepdad. And then in another video, actually in this video, he didn't say it, but in another video, he said that it's a mental illness to raise another man's kid. So you in the YouTube space, in the red pill space, single mothers probably is the number one or number two most talked about topic when it comes to red pill content. The other, what's another? The other major thing is just kind of like women in general, just like hypergamy. That might be like the number one thing that red pill talks about, like how a woman gonna leave you if you lose your job, or if she finds somebody who looks better or got more money than you. And women high expectations. That's where Kevin Samuels became big at, talking about every girl wants the top 10% of men. Every woman wants somebody who's 6 feet, makes six figures, got a six pack. Every woman wants that top guy. That's probably the number one talking point when it comes to the red pill. But other than that, it has to be single mothers. There's video after video after video on it. I done seen a lot of them over the years because we didn't all been there when it comes to single mothers. Me, like most people, I have dated a single mother before. Took like two or three seriously, and they only had one kid. Any girl, if you had more than one kid, it was what it was. I knew it wasn't gonna last long. We were just having fun. But I tried to make it work with girls who had one kid because of my personal experience, because my mom had one kid when she met my stepdad and got married and all of that. So I kind of always felt like a hypocrite, like not to talk to women with kids when my mom had a kid, when my mom was a single mother for a while before she met my stepdad. But over the years, I done got to the point to where I don't even want to talk to a girl who got one kid. And this is not the bad single mothers, because I know y'all get it enough, but a lot of y'all are really delusional. And this is mainly for the younger girls, because if you watch the video, the lady asked them, what would you tell younger men and younger women? So this is really for them. And that's what I would say too. Like, if you already got kids, it is what it is. If you over 35, you stuck in your ways, this is really to help the younger people prevent getting to where a lot of people is at in life, because especially women, because women don't never want to tell other women the truth because misery loves company. I never heard an older woman, and I'm pretty sure it has happened, but you rarely hear an older woman telling a younger woman, don't have kids, get married when you young. Older women mostly tell younger women, oh, you better not waste your 20s on a man, and you need to have your fun and get married later. We know what older women tell younger women to set them up for failure, just like they did. Even though these older women know how the game go. They did all of this, and then most of them wasn't able to find the husband. Some of them was, but some of these women, once they got old and got ran through and got kids, they wasn't never able to get married or ever get the man that they wanted. And they bitter about that. And they don't want to tell the younger women that, because men, we keep trying to tell the younger women, and it's like they some listen, but most majority of them don't want to listen because they think that men is just trying to control them. Everything comes from the control standpoint. But y'all don't understand. We've been seeing this time and time again. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm starting to see women from my 20s, the women I dated in my early and mid 20s, and where they at now and how they thinking. It never lies. It literally what they say is the truth. I've seen it over and over again. A girl, when she young, 18 to 25, she want to have fun, date the worst type of men, don't not worried about settling down. And this is what I never understood. Women always say they don't care about marriage, they don't care about being in a relationship, but y'all still fucking. That's the number one thing I hate. Like, women always talk about, oh, I don't need a man, I don't need this, but you still getting fucked and you still having kids. Like, it's not like y'all not still having sex and y'all not still getting pregnant. Y'all just not getting married, which is dumb. Because now you a single parent and now you complaining that you got to do it on your own. Men ain't stepping up. He's a deadbeat father. It's like y'all slow. You wouldn't have to worry about that if you was looking for a husband and if you was married to him. Like, yeah, because, well, we know women majority of the time leave, file for divorce. So all of this, oh, you can get married to a man and he leave you for nothing and all of that. 70, that's only 30% of the time. It's a 70% chance you gonna leave him. Men don't leave relationships like that. So women that be saying that, oh, I don't want to get married and he leave me and he take everything and blah blah blah. Like, that's a lie. Y'all leave majority of relationships. Y'all the ones that mess up stuff majority of the time. So that's what women don't understand when you're younger. And this been said a whole bunch of time. Women, when they hot and young, they want to have fun. This the this the good guy, this guy, this that guy. Then as soon as they get over 30, they don't look as good as they used to. They not the hot thing no more. They got a couple kids. Now, let me settle down. I want a good man. And it never fails. And it's like, we trying to just get women to think how they think in their 30s and their 20s before it's too late. Cause that's what end up happening with women. All women think that they got time. I'm too young to get married. I'm too young to settle down. I'm too young to do this and do that. Not realizing that it's not guaranteed it's not gonna be there for you later. I don't know why every woman thinks that when they turn 30 or 35 that there's going to be this magical great man waiting for them that's going to accept them and marry them and pay all of the bills and want to be a stepdad. Like it's just that's always been the number one thing that's so crazy to me about women, like the delusion of women, and that women really don't understand men. And they look at the few instances or the rare occasions and think that that's the norm. Just because Russell Wilson took on Sierra, don't mean that still majority of women don't find that. Majority of women not getting, the majority of single mothers will never get with a millionaire like Russell Wilson. Like, why are you trying to use the outlier? It like 9 times out of 10, you're gonna end up getting with a lower value man that you would have never talked to in your 20s. And that's why men get it a lot too for talking to single mothers and get bashed because what men don't have to understand is that before she had kids, she probably wouldn't have talked to you. She only talking to you because she got kids now, so she lowering her standards, or she need a stepdad, somebody who's going to step up because there's a lot of men out there that's not going to do it. A lot of men is like, I'm not talking to a woman with kids straight up. Like we gonna have fun. I'm gonna tell her what she want to hear, but I'll never marry her. That's how a lot of men is. So you just wanted a rare man that will take that on. And you might have money and a nice job, but 9 times out of 10, you don't get girls like that. That's what I'm starting to know. Like the men who settle down with single mothers and get with single mothers, they're never like top of the line man. Like you would never see like a Chris Brown settling with a or being with a single mother long term. And not just the extreme version, but even like a man that's even like I said, like TK Kirkland said, he would never be with the single mother. Even me, like we can just take me because I'm not a rich and famous celebrity, but I got my stuff going on. I got my own everything. I'm not talking to a single mother, period, because it makes no sense to me to talk to a single mother, especially when you don't have kids. But I always say you shouldn't even talk to a single mother, even if she does have kids, because of this. If you a single father, you still got well, and 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna be a single father. That's my whole point. You gonna be somebody who just got kids. Single mothers and fathers are not the same. The mother, majority of the time, is going to have the kid. The man, 9 times out of 10, is only going to have the kid on a weekend or every other weekend, or at the longest, maybe the summer. As a man, you're going to have to take on that fatherly role and you're going to have to deal with that kid more than she's going to have to deal with your kid. That's my whole point of why it's still not even a good deal for men who got kids. Now, if you a single father to where you got 100% of the custody of your kid, or majority of the custody in the rare occasion where the mother only gets the kid on the weekend, then maybe that's a little different. Y'all on equal footing. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have full custody like the mother has full custody. So for one, so that's the first thing, because the kid is going to have to live with you. So let's say you a man that got kids, she a woman that got kids. 9 times out of 10, her kids is going to be in the household. Your kids is not going to be in the household. They're going to be with the mother majority of the time. So that's first why it's not equal. Second, as a man, you're still going to be looked at as the provider. So you're still 9 times out of 10 unless you find a woman who like, okay, it's equal. I'm gonna pay half or I'm gonna take care of my kids. You don't have to get my kids nothing, which never going to work because what woman is going to be with you and let you not do nothing for her kids? Like you think you can be with a woman and you don't buy her kids nothing for their birthday or Christmas? You know that's not gonna work. So you're gonna end up spending money on the kid regardless. More money than she's going to spend on your kid 9 times out of 10 because you're the man. You go even buying food. Let's say y'all go out to eat or go on a trip. Her kid is going to come 99% majority of the time. Your kid probably will come too if you got the kid that weekend. But it's gonna be certain time, like I said, unless you got full custody to where let's say it's just the three of y'all or you, her, and her two kids. you go out to eat, you're going to have to get them two kids food because I never heard of it. And we know 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be a situation where the woman going to be like, okay, I'll pay for my kids' food and you just buy your own food and my food. Like most women is going to want you to take on that father role and want you to treat their kids like they your kids, especially if y'all together, which we ultimately talking about. Obviously, we just talking about sleeping together and something in a short fling. Obviously, that don't count because that defeat the whole purpose of the video. If we talking about actually being a stepdad, that means that you actually with the mama in the household. So off rip, you're gonna end up spending more money on her kid than probably your own kids. A lot of stepdads that spend more money on they stepkids than they do their real kids. Then on top of that too, like I said, the kid is going to be in your household majority of the time. Then we already know the number one reason why people don't want to deal with stepmoms and the bigger problem be the stepdad and that whole dynamic of stuff like that because it's easier with a woman. Yes, you do still got to, because I know what women say, you have to deal with the stepdad talking to the baby mom and that relationship still be going on. Yes, that's true, but it's more likely because women know this, what I'm about to say. It's more likely that the woman will move on before the man do. So it's harder because what I mean by this is that it's more likely that the baby daddy is still trying to get with his baby mama than the baby mama is still trying to get with the baby daddy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yes, there is some occasions where the baby mama bitter and mad that the baby daddy move on, but most of the time the dude's still gonna be on some chasing the baby mama. Why? Because getting back to my point, majority of the time the woman left the relationship. So majority of the time, women leave the relationship. Not, and then we already know the person who do the breaking up, the person who get broken up with always gonna be the chaser because they the one that got broken up with. So to eat, so by laws of average, 9 times that means that majority of the time the baby daddy is still going to be chasing the baby mama than the other way around. Because the women got options, even when they got kids, they still think that they got options, even if it's just for sex, which women don't understand also, which is the ultimate conclusion at the end of this video. They still able to move on easier than men is, and then they still gonna get the kid. So the man could still even be chasing the woman just because they don't want to not see their kid. A lot of men do. If you used to seeing your kid and being in the household with your kid every day, you're not going to want to not see your kid and it leave with the mother. So men get it the worst when it comes to kids and the breakup and all of that. But that's also the reason. So, and then we know how dudes is. They more territorial. I don't want nobody around my son. They more likely to want to fight and cause drama. Like I said, I know there is baby mamas that cause drama and want to fight and stuff too. But I'm talking about majority of the time. It's gonna be the other way around. Then with men, it just and then ultimate conclusion, like TK Kirkland said, I just don't think that it's natural for a man to just want to raise another man's kid. Like I said in another video. I haven't met one man that said, when I grow up, I want to be a stepdad. I want to my dream woman is a woman with kids. Like no man dream woman is a woman that already got kids. They basically just settle for it. And that's what people don't understand is that you still ended up settling because if I asked you to make up your dream woman, she wouldn't have had kids. And even dudes that with women that got kids, deep down, at one point, they still wish that they didn't have that kid, or they wish that that kid was their kid. That just common sense that they wish, like, Dana, I wish you would have had your first kid with me. Like, you can't tell me that Russell Wilson don't wish that Sierra kid was his first kid. You can't tell me that. So, and I'm gonna end it like this. What he said, is that a little bit extreme? Yes, but also he's a comedian. He's joking, but at the same time, there's some truth in every joke. And you already know, I don't condone being a stepdad. And I always say, and my saying is that baby mamas need to get back with their stepdad. If he nutting you, he will you. If he nutting you, he's stuck with you. If he nutting you, you belong to him, basically. He marked his territory. That's what I'll be saying too. Nothing in a woman and her having your kid, that's like pissing on, like how animals piss to mark their territory. That's basically what nothing in a woman is. That's what dudes do. They nothing you, have a kid with you to say that you mine. So it's like, why would you want to take over something that somebody else marked their territory on? And we know the saying, um, playing a woman save game and all of that. We know what I'm saying, which is funny, but the first time I heard it, it was one of the funniest things I ever seen. But it's true. Like, why would you want to take care of somebody else's nut? And then, like they say, stuff is too expensive now too. Cause people, let's get this straight. People complain about how expensive stuff is, how expensive it is to raise kids. Then, like I say, kids is bad. And this is what I said in another video. If you have a kid, they're going to break something. They're going to get in trouble. They're going to get in fights. They're going to break something. Like their kids, like every kid is going to do some kid shit. And it's okay when it's your kid. When it's not your kid, like perfect example. Let's say you a gamer, you got a PS5. Y'all already know where I'm going with this. The kid breaks your game or breaks the TV or might pour some juice in the game, whatever. Kids do all type of stuff. So it's okay when it's your kid. You still gonna whoop their ass and be mad, but it's more acceptable when it's yours versus this kid that's not even yours fucking up your stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like it's just different. That's the same like with a dog. Like if your dog bites you versus somebody else's dog bites you, you're going to feel differently about it. That's just the way that it is. So, just like if you will take, if your family member says something to you versus a complete stranger, like your family member might can call you the B word and you get mad, but you're not gonna fight them because it's your brother or mom or dad or whatever. Versus somebody, if somebody off the streets call you the B word, you gonna want to put hands on 'em. So it's different when it's yours versus when it's not yours. And then take this as somebody who was a step kid and had a stepdad my whole life. Like him and my mom was together. They didn't divorce until I was 17, turning 18. And they got together when I was 2 years old, 1.5, 2 years old. And I had love, a lot of love for my stepdad. I cried at his funeral. He died a couple years ago. He never treated me fake. Like I give him credit. He was a good stepdad, but we still can't change the fact of two things is that it's always weird, especially for a kid, because it's weird. It's just like because you don't fully understand. It's like, okay, this dude, he not my dad, but then he is my dad. And then he's with my mom. Like it's confusing for a kid when it's a man in the house and it's not their biological father. So it's like until you get older, you don't really get to understand. And then when you're a teenager, you realize, okay, this is just somebody who fucking my mama. Like that's why they always say you never get with a single mother when she got a teenage boy. I would never do that because teenage boys start to already know, yeah, this dude just fucking my mama. And they kind of have some resentment towards that. Now, if you was there from the beginning, that's a little bit better because they already know you and look at you kind of as a father figure. But if you get with a single mother in the beginning and her kid is a teenager, he gonna be looking at you funny and he never gonna look at you like a dad. It's too late for that. Because they always say, well, it's better to talk to a single mother once her kids get grown. I mean, that's you. I still wouldn't do it because if her kid's grown, unless she had kids real young, like as a teenager, which already show bad decision making, that means she gonna be older then. Like, would you better get with a 50-year-old woman and because her kid's grown? Like, hell no. But to me, like, it's always a weird, like, it was always a weirdness with my stepdad because it's like, we cool, we talk, we had a good relationship, but it's like, it's always weird because it's like, you not my dad, but then you is. And then, like they always say, when a breakup or divorce happen, the stepkids rarely ever talk to their stepdad no more, which I rarely did. I spoke to my stepdad a couple times after him and my mom got a divorce because it's just weird because, that's not my dad. And then there's really no reason for y'all to talk and really have that connection no more that him and your mom not together no more. It just kind of awkward. So, overall, I would say I just wouldn't do it. Like it just doesn't make sense. And then, like you got another man's kid, like and then this is a problem too. A lot of kids look like they dad. So it's like, why do I want a kid that looks like somebody else in my house? Like, like some of these kids look just like they dad. And then so it's like every time you looking at this motherfucker, you looking at the dad who used to bust nuts in the mom. And that's one of the biggest things with me. Like, I'm so visual and I'm a deep thinker, so I think about everything. Like, man, this dude was fucking the shit out of you, nutted in you. You carried this nut for 9 months, and then his nut came out, and then y'all not together no more, and now I'm supposed to take care of this? Like, hell no. Like it just doesn't, like he said, like it is kind of like a mental illness or kind of like it's crazy to say, but it kind of is like a something off because how could you like be happy to do that? And people try to make it seem like it's normal, but really when you think about it in depth, it really is crazy to take care of something that's not your. That's like it's like paying somebody else bills. It's like it's like doing work for somebody and not getting paid for it. Like steps that we just don't do, like taking care of somebody else's responsibility. It's like cutting your neighbor grass, but then not getting paid for it. Like, and some people might agree to do that, but you have to be real cool with your neighbor to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, people don't just take on other people's responsibilities. That's not natural. That's not natural human nature to take on somebody else's responsibility. And then, too, a lot of times, while you raising this kid, being stepdaddy of the year, the new dad is out fucking new bitches and then getting off scot-free. Because why are you spending your hard-earned money and then the stepdad out here saving all his money? Like it just doesn't make sense to me at all. And then like I said, for that to be your wife or your girl, like you waking up every day to a woman that got nutted in by another man, especially if she got two, three kids. Like she got nutted in multiple times, and then it shows that she's a bad decision maker. And that's why they say a lot of dudes end up getting used and abused because a lot of dudes do think like women. Like women don't use critical thinking skills because like women talk to dudes who got four, five, six kids all of the time. And that's why they end up becoming the third, fourth, fifth baby mama, looking dumb. It's like Nick Cannon or Future, Lil Durk, like these dudes still having kids by when NBA YoungBoy is a perfect example. Like women still having kids with this man, knowing that he's not gonna be there. He's never gonna marry you. He already got a wife. Like just dumb stuff, and then they be complaining and mad. Oh, he never sees his kid, and I have to do everything himself, just like what's her name, Hove Chavez or whatever her name is, that got the baby with Bow Wow, Future, and the NFL player, like crazy, like always complaining about that, and they don't see their kids enough, and all of that type of stuff. But what do you think gonna happen? You was the third, fourth baby mama. Like women be dumb thinking that if he couldn't work it out with his first two, three baby mamas, what makes you any different? There is no different. And that's how men think sometimes too. Like, why would you give this woman and she already got two baby daddies? Obviously, she bad at picking men, or she crazy, or something is wrong with her. Like, y'all don't understand or y'all don't get that. It's crazy to me. But that's my thoughts. That's it. My advice, just like him, younger women, stop having kids by Stop having kids young by the wrong men just because he looked good, like all of the superficial reasons, not caring just because he looked good, just because you think you in love and all of that. That's gonna mess you up in the future. You need to make sure that you're choosing the right man to have a kid with. I'm not saying because of course you shouldn't wait until you 40, 35 to have a kid. No, but you shouldn't be having a kid at 16, 18, or 21 unless you married or you know that this dude is something. And I understand the one thing that I give women is that it is sometimes to analyze a dude potential, or there might be a time where a dude do switch up, or maybe he was doing good and he got on drugs or fell off. Like stuff do happen. Everything is not black and white. But a lot of times girls overlook the red flags. Like I said, they want to talk to a dude just because he look good, but they know he don't have no money. Like this dude don't have no car, don't have no money, can't keep a job, cheating on you all of the time, like little stuff like that be happening, and women will still have a kid with that dude. You knew he was cheating on you the whole time. You knew he never held down a job. You know he don't have enough money to have a kid, but you still letting him go up in you raw. And you still choosing to have this kid, knowing the type of man that he is. That's when it's the woman part, and that's what happened majority of the time. Women like to say, "Oh, he switched up on me," and all of that. No, there be signs there too. Cause like I said, just alone, if you talking to a dude who already got kids, that's just that enough in its on its own is enough for you to be held reliable. Because why would you talk to a dude who already got two baby mamas? Stop thinking that you're gonna be different. Women always think, "Oh, I'm different. He ain't gonna treat me like that. I'm better than them." And then you end up getting burnt in the end. So women need to think that, because having kids damage a woman more so than anything. There's nothing that I think that damage a woman more than having kids. Because like even if you look good, that kid is always gonna be. Every time I see it, I see a bunch of attractive women with kids. But that kid always gonna be a dean. It's like if you a 10, a kid automatically makes you a 9. Or like a kid automatically lowers you down a step, because if you didn't have that kid, you will always look better. Like I said, I don't care how good a girl look, she would look even better if she didn't have a kid attached to her. Period. Because like I said, I don't know no guy that, oh, I want to just looking to be a stepdad. And then too, like I always said, women, y'all need to start being careful, because if a dude loves kids that much and want to be around kids, that's how that whole stepdad and the great word and all of that stuff end up happening with this, because they one of the biggest ones when it comes. I know the uncle and the stepdad is usually the top two when it comes to great situations in the household. So you got to think about that. Like, if a dude overly loves kids, that's kind of weird within itself, because women, y'all nurturing. That's why I kind of understand more of women talking to men with kids, because they got that nurturing spirit. But as a man, it's not natural for a man to just love kids like that. Just want to raise kids, even if they not his. Like that's not natural as a man. I don't believe so. You got to watch out for that red flag. And I'm out.